Today we are going to talk about Disgaea D2, which is the fifth Disgaea game, comes from the company Nipponichi, which is Japs 1 we usually call it. This game is coming out on the 8th of October, which should be today. I played this in Japanese version and I didn't do the review, so why not? If you search this review from typing Disgaea in, you probably already know what this game is about. But for those of you who don't know, behind the box it writes over the top RPG game, and it is exactly what it is. Generally speaking, Disgaea is a turn-based strategy game with comedy-style storyline, and the unique point of this series is the long hours you can play in this game. You can make your character ridiculously strong, and there is no end of fighting strong enemies in this game. And that's probably all I got for introduction, so please enjoy the OP before we start. And before we start, just to say, I'm a big fan of Disgaea, so if there is anything I get really excited or overrating the game, please forgive me. The story started with Fron growing flower in the back of the castle. And as she is growing the flower, Lahalu and Etana kind of pay her a visit. And after that, they notice that Fron's flower is actually from heaven, so the flower may not have any chance to grow in the demon world. As they leave, the flower grows, and this is where all began. As the plot is not really that important, so let us just skim through it. Resistance, Angel Sister, interesting character, Super Idol, Angels, Angels, more Angels, Pruny, Return to Angels, and last boss. And as usual, in post-game you can meet the previous game's characters. The story isn't amazingly written. The ending is kind of normal. A conclusive ending is never expected in a Disgaea game. But in general, it gives you a fun and enjoyable 20 hours gameplay, excluding post-game materials. Now that the story is out of the way, let's talk about gameplay. In D2, the classic Disgaea strategy remains. To clear the stage, except of making your army stronger by chaining, creating new characters, or maybe increasing your item level, you can use the symbols and throwing system to create your own advantage in each stage. One of the biggest change in Disgaea D2 is the cheat house. As we can see, is out of the door. Change the camera around, and yes, there he is. For cheat house, you can change your pay rate for experience, mana, and health whenever you like. It's a really convenient tool, considering Disgaea needs a lot of experience or a lot of money by times. In previous game, you need to process it in the console. In D2, you only need to change the difficulty in the cheat house. But at the same time, changing difficulties can go a bit wrong, as you can see in the video. For the second choice, except of stars, is Shula mode, and the Shula mode basically gives you 100 times stronger enemies. So be careful when you are with cheat house. You may actually get a few game overs just by wrong settings. Another improvement I think is kind of effective is in the counseling system. Before in D2, every council, when they reject your requirements, you must use force to force them to pass. Force them to pass your proposal. In this game, you don't need to spend so much time just to fight in the council. You can use money when you are really rich. You can just use money to solve the problems. As you can see, giving money can just make everything pass. And at the same time, because money in Disgaea isn't really that useful, so they give you a way to use money. It is kind of a great improvement in my sense. Last but not least, the Lasats mode from the update version 1.04. The Lasats mode gives you a limit breaker to the game, although the original leveling is already really ridiculous in Disgaea. Lasats mode just brings the whole thing to a whole new level. It gives character and items unlimited potential just to become stronger and stronger. But at the same time, it also gives status bonus to enemies. This mode is kind of complicated, so we may actually make another video just to explain and bring a guide to you. So now that the good points are gone, let's talk about something I want to improve, or maybe actually bad points. The first thing is the Omega Magic references. In previous games, Omega Magic usually have a reference to other novels, anime. For example, in 4 they have an index for Omega Heal, and I'm not sure if it is copyright thing or not, but they kind of delete the magic thing, so it's kind of disappointing, but it's not really affecting the gameplay, just my viewpoint. And another thing is the new weapon, books. They say that books is different from staff, as you can use it as a melee weapon, so it gives you skills. It gives you range skills, which is set to a certain area. Feels like sword and something like that. But at the same time, it's so useless compared to staff. Books can't maximize their attacks, and for element benefits, you can only have one element, one skill, which is kind of disappointing and meaningless. Whoa, stop talking about books, and the next is the boss super moves. As a collector, you need to see every move of every character to complete the trophy. And bosses usually just use their strongest attacks, and they never use the other two. I can't really accept it because it makes me really frustrated. And I think the worst of all is the relationship system. It gives you a range of 0 to 5 hearts. To increase it, you need to put 2 characters nearby. They have support attacks, support defense, talking in the base. Just some really basic stuff to increase their relationship. But at the same time, it is kind of pointless, as it just increase your rate of having support attacks. And it can be proposed in the council, which you will have a lot of mana to use, and is absolutely pointless except of doing council by increasing it. I totally don't understand why they actually put this system in, but just me bitching about things. For Disgaea, the graphics doesn't really improve much as expected. The graphics is same as 4, not much exciting new things. Skills may have some interesting skills that have reference and kind of over-the-top actions. To conclude, D2 is a lot more player-friendly than the previous series. If you like strategy games, you'll definitely love D2. But if you are expecting a movie story type of games, this may not be the game for you. For hardcore Disgaea players, the gameplay hours will be a bit shorter, but it will still be at least 100 hours before you finish it, so you can give some expectations. In this video, it's only me recording. Sorry if my English is kind of shitty or maybe rusty, I don't know what to say, but thanks for watching. There will be probably some guide for Disgaea D2 as well going on. Enjoy those videos, maybe subscribe or give comments. Yeah, that regular shit. I don't know why I'm talking like Victor right now, but yeah, hope you enjoy.